conversation, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.
Yo, what's up, man? Appreciate everybody that's tapped in already. I see it's a pack house already. Y'all having too much fun in the comments, man. I got a real quick though, like before I give a shout out to my guy here from the Purple Persuasion, man. We got Justin in the building, but and that was funny, Sarah. Sarah said, "God damn, it's hot outside," and Skull Mafia said that's because JJ cooking in Minnesota, bro. Nice one. Let's go, man. I like that, man, for sure. Let's go, man. But hey, man, as y'all see, we got the myth, the legend himself in the building, man. I appreciate you tapping in with me, bro, for sure, man. You know, real quick before I let you just tell the people, most people probably already know where you're at anyways, man. But you know, hey, look, one thing I got to tell you is I appreciate everything you do, putting out the news, putting it out. It's one thing because like there's a lot of outlets that do it, but to me, it's about the timing, right? And I just feel like your timing's perfect, man. Whatever. I don't know if it's you and a partner that does it, but you know, it's just perfect. It's always there. It's available. It's quick. We can post it quickly. You guys are really good at what you do, man. So shout out to you, man. Everybody in the building. If you're not, make sure you go and follow TPP Skull. They just do a great job, man. Just a great Vikings outlet, man, for sure. For sure. And the numbers don't lie.
They don't lie, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. It's an honor to be on your show. I've always wanted to join. I appreciate the invite the other day, and that was one of the hypest intros that I've been on. So
man,
you had to be turning up there a little bit. There.
Hey, and that's me, me too. So it works out, man. You know, it's crazy. I did that. Cool. I did that song like years ago before I ever knew I was going to be podcasting. But I was like, you know what, it fits. You know what I'm saying? So
you got to send that one to me then. That's
I got you. I got you.
One on the Spotify playlist.
Absolutely, man. I got you. Definitely, man, for sure. And look, me and my guy right here, man, listen, obviously, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I see you pushing over on your platform pretty much the JJ narrative that he needs to be QB1 in a way. And I mean, I know you're just pushing the news too, but at the end of the day, like I could see that you're a JJ guy, right? Like
I don't get we're you know, everybody should be a JJ guy. He's the future of the Vikings. You know, Sam Darnold, if he's there week 1, I'll be cheering him on 100%. But until that is declared, I'm rooting for the guy for the future of the franchise, which is JJ McCarthy. I just don't understand the JJ Darnold needs to start, blah, blah, blah. Like, what if JJ's just better? And he is, in my opinion. He's proven it. He's already light years faster than I think most Viking fans had projected. Beat writers all had him at QB3, not all of them, but a good chunk of them. He's already taken reps against the ones, and he's tearing them up and lighting them up. And let's give JJ some reps with the number 1 offense, and that'll tell a different story. So
hey,
let's obviously how to represent JJ McCarthy.
Me too. Let's go. The JJ stand. Hey, listen, guys, get ready. The glaze session is underway. You hear me? Like facts for sure. But like again, I agree with you. Like, there's nothing wrong though with wanting JJ McCarthy to start and just wanting him to represent the franchise, because I've been pushing this for a couple weeks now, and ever since we really signed Sam Darnold, I'm like, bro, it's Sam Darnold, bro. Like, listen, I'll like you said, if he starts, he plays, yes, we'll support him. But at the end of the day, it's Sam Darnold, man. Like, I just don't see, as Vikings fans, we tend to want to get behind any and everybody that comes to the Vikings, especially at the most important position. Like, we've been waiting for this moment for the longest, and we just want to say, nah, Sam Darnold's the guy, man. Hell no, I want number 9 starting, bro. Period.
Plus, there's no like attachment to him. You know, you get like, if it was Kirk Cousins, I could definitely see how there's attachment there for a lot of fans. But he's never taken a snap under purple, in a real regular season game. So it's for me, I don't get it. But if he's there, week 1 against the Giants, I'll be pulling for Sam Darnold because I want this team to win first and foremost. But same time, JJ's the future. Let's root for him, and he's balling. So let's continue that heater he's on right now. That's good news.
Hey, speaking of balling though, I wanted to do because we'll get on some more stuff too. But hold on, because I actually pulled up some stuff from obviously TPP. Y'all make sure y'all go there. All right, so let me scroll and find it real quick. So JJ McCarthy today has thrown 5. He threw 5 touchdowns. Was that 5 touchdowns today? Let me go and find it.
Yeah,
All right,
it was
so
5.
yeah, he was 4. No, today he was 4 for 6 with 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the 7-on-7, it was he threw 4 touchdowns, and then he had that big bomb to I can't remember who the
Tristan Jackson.
Yeah, so he had that. So 5 in total. Sam had 0. No picks, I don't think, from either quarterback today, from at least what I've read and heard. So 5-0. I think Darnold was 2 for 6 in the 7-on-7.
Yeah.
McCarthy was, I believe, 4 for 5 with 4 TDs. And it's just, I had somebody that messaged me like, well, everybody can throw touchdowns with nobody pass rushing. Yes, it's easier. There's no pass rush, and it's easier to throw a touchdown. But it's like, well, they gave Sam Darnold a chance, and he couldn't do it. So
because I see you tweeted Sam Darnold 2 for 6 with 0 touchdowns.
Yep.
So and I guess like and I seen somebody also commented about like, well, Sam Darnold's actually throwing against the number 1 defense in the red zone, to where JJ McCarthy's throwing against the 2s, but still yet, man, it's like, come on, Sam Darnold, you got to be able to throw a touchdown though, at least. Got to be able to throw a touchdown.
If you're the number 1, you got to be throwing at least a touchdown, in my opinion.
At least. We all were asking for 1 touchdown.
And 1 touchdown, and JJ did it against the 1 defense. So it's like, with the number 2 offense. So let's give him Jets now, sorry. And let's give him Jordan Addison with the, it was no pads today. It was just the shells. Pads are back tomorrow, I believe. So we'll get more tells when the defense can get a little more aggressive and everything. But for me, I think I calculated or charted it. It's 3-1-1. So McCarthy's, if you want to consider the winner of the quarterback battle over these last 5 days of practices, it's McCarthy's up 3. Darnold's got 1 win, and then I think there's a push there a couple days ago.
Yeah, dang, boy. Hey, look, and I put a poll in the chat, guys, for y'all to put your entry in, man. We're gonna see. Matter of fact, let me go check that. Where we at? 75% JJ McCarthy is winning so far. So, and which should be, he should be, man. The fans should embrace this, man. You know what I mean? I feel like some fans are like shying away. They're shying away, and they rather support Sam Darnold, which, I mean, I get, like, support our team in general, absolutely. But let me tell you a little bit about me, man. Like, when it comes to JJ, and a lot of the people in the chat know this, right? Like, I'm a Michigan fan. Like, that's my college team. So I've been watching, like, so for me, it's like, bro, this is like best case scenario for me. All right, my college team, they won the national championship. The quarterback on my college team gets drafted to my favorite NFL team, bro. You can't have it any better, right? And I always had faith in JJ McCarthy, man. Like, I've been pushing the narrative for the longest, man. Me and SK. So like, it's just one of those things, bro. It's just like, man, I would not dare to sit here and just ride and hoorah for Sam Darnold when I know who Sam Darnold is, and what's happening, what we're seeing is exactly who Sam Darnold is, and I'm not surprised about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd say the same thing. To me, it's like the Dobbs thing. We got in all of that Dobbs delirium last year. He was on his, I don't even know what it was, 6, 7, 8 teams, whatever it was. But there's a reason why these quarterbacks are on multiple teams. And to me, if you're a good quarterback, even like an average, above average quarterback, you can make a below average receivers look somewhat decent. Given Patrick Mahomes, he has Travis Kelce, but he was surrounded by, like last year, not a lot of great, above average wide receivers. He elevates them because he's elite. And I just don't think Sam Darnold there, he's on his 14, and it's for a reason. If he was really, really good, and I think he fits best with that Shanahan type scheme, the 49ers would have kept him, or at least as a high price backup with Birdie, who's, has had a couple injuries, but he's still young. But it's, I don't know. That's exactly. There's a tell. If he was good, he'd be on the same team and wouldn't be bounced around the NFL.
And I'm glad you said that. I was thinking as I'm driving home today from work, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, he's been on, and we're talking about the most important position on the field, right? And he's been with the Jets and the Panthers. Now, in most of those cases, for example, we can use Kyler Murray as example, right? Like, okay, they know Kyler Murray is good. Like the coaches, all the coaches that have been there, they know, like, hey, listen, this guy's good. We need to build around him. Don't get rid of the quarterback and then try to do it like what. But with Sam Darnold, they're getting rid of him. Like, and to your point with Shanahan, it's like, bruh, if you couldn't beat out Brock Purdy, which no shot at Brock Purdy, he's actually pretty good, better than a lot of people thought. But the system, if you couldn't have won that job being a veteran with him coming into the system when they've let Garoppolo do it, and it's just like, bro, come on, man. Like, there's obviously, like I said it in my video last night, like Sam Darnold's really like a backup for a bunch of teams right now. Like he would literally be a backup.
Yeah.
You know, so and we won't beat the dead horse, man, too much tonight here, man. Cause I know I got Justin for about 30 to 40 minutes, man. You know, he got to get back on his Twitter game, you know, dropping that news. You hear me? Like,
there is two of us. So my co-founder of TVP as well. His name's Mick. He does a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of do all the podcasts and the radio stuff, but he's grinding just as much as I am. So
absolutely, man.
It's too hard to do it by one person.
I can imagine, man. You guys definitely got a machine running over there. Real quick, man. Let me just do some shout out. Shout out Bob, man. Shout out Gary. I see y'all, man. The Skull Bro in the building, man. Barbara fades you up. I see you, Sarah. Boom, boom. What's happening, man? Yeah. You already know what time it is. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out Skull Mafia there too. Skull Mafia. If I shoot me a DM, I'll give you a follow back. I appreciate
man. Shout out Skull Mafia, man. That's the Skull Bro.
If I remember, I'll do it. But if not, shoot me a DM.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out William McLaren in the building, man. Viker, I see you, Viker, man. My boy Travis Cody, man. Norris, GG in the building, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, appreciate everybody tapping in, man, and showing us support, man. You know, I wanted to make this good for him coming on the show. Angel, I see you, Angel, man. Zoe, what's happening, man? Appreciate y'all, man, for sure. T-Bass, man, even though T-Bass gonna be talking his smack tonight, you know, T-Bass he's doubtful about JJ McCarthy for some reason.
Everybody's
he's
like, they're entitled to it.
Yeah, he's like, it's practice. Like, we're talking about practice. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, we talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah, that's how T-Bass is doing right now, man. For sure.
Everybody's got their own opinion. Respect it.
Hey, for sure. But let's talk about the cornerbacks, man. I know you've been, obviously y'all been on top of that as well. And you guys just released it. We brought in, and I have no idea who he is. I know he's a veteran. I think they said he's on his sixth season. Is it? So he's been around.
Yeah, he's been around. I think he played for the Broncos more recently. I think he spent some time with the Commanders now. There might have been one other team he had a brief stint on from what I saw, but yeah, he's played games and been in the NFL compared to the other guy we signed the other day who hadn't seen the field. So I don't think this is the splashy guy that they're going to be committing toward. I do think they're going to sign a well-known household. Yeah, Gilmore, Jackson, somebody like that.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard, I mean, he's probably a long shot, I think, given his legal situation. But I think they need some bodies now. I think they want to test the Caleb Evans. They want to see what Andrew Booth Jr. can do because, you know, and Kwesi's talked about it before. It's keeping your own guys. So drafting the players you get, elevating them and re-signing them. That's the number one way. Then you go to free agency trades, you know, you go down the whole list. But I think they're going to see what they can do with a Caleb Evans, especially. I think they're going to give him a fair chance and kind of see how he thrives in training camp. I don't think he's done a whole lot. Booth, I think, has struggled from what I've gleaned from everything. So yeah, more bodies in camp for now, but at least this guy has some, you know,
kind of experience, right?
Experience, right? His PFF grades aren't the greatest, but you know, take that with
and that's the thing too. When it comes to, I mean, people in here know, man. I'm like, when it comes to Caleb Evans, like I'm not a huge like fan. Nothing against him, right? But just one of those things where it's just like I just don't think that he's the caliber of DB that I want playing on the outside. Like because like my thing is this: like it comes quarterback. And then it comes the guys that are stopping the wide receivers, like stopping the guys from catching the football because we're in a passing league. And yeah, some teams lean to the run now. So I can see the run starting to get back involved from like later into last year. But most of the time, you got to be able to stop these wide receivers, man. And it's like these guys are important, man. If you're letting us down, and I've seen play after play with a Caleb Evans missing tackles or just like not being able to cover. I mean, there's things I do like about him too. I just feel like, man, we got to get this cornerback position right, man. Like at some point, as far as like just getting a stud. You know, we talk about Xavier Rhodes. I know y'all been posting that too. He's been like messing around and trolling. But you know, all jokes aside, though, his little 2 year stint, 2-3 year stint of being really good. I mean, I enjoyed it because we knew we had somebody that would lock down at least one side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they want to play more man coverage. I think that's been very pressed by a lot of B writers. I think Flores has talked about it multiple times in his presser. And they need somebody that can step up. I think Shaq Griffin can play that man coverage that they're looking for. They really want to slide Murphy Jr. into the slot there, and somebody else needs to step up. Who that is, RIP Kyrie Jackson, and unfortunate situation that happened with Mekhi Blackman. The cornerback room is kind of cursed right now. So anybody walking in there, it's, you kind of wonder what's going to happen. But I think somebody's going to be in there that can help out. And our pass rush is light years better than it is going to be from last year. I know Daniil had a lot of sacks, but the pressure wasn't there. And once, if you didn't get there in 3 seconds, the quarterbacks were just annihilating our corners toward the end of the season. So I think our pass rush is going to be way higher, which, will help the corners out a lot. So even though if we not have the splashiest cornerback room, I think the pass rush will help out the whole situation in the end.
Yeah. And I've said that too, where I feel like the X factor is going to be Brian Flores. Cause I always say we bring in these guys, like even the Bobby McCains of the world and stuff. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, if you look at his numbers and stuff, it might not wow you and make you fall out of your chair. Like, oh, we brought in a Bobby McCain, but I always look at like the X factor being Brian Flores, because he tends to, from what we've seen him coming in his first year with the Vikings, he tends to make certain guys just look better than they really are, because he knows how to put them in position. He's a great coach and a great leader. So, at the end of the day, that's why I'm not like jumping off the ledge when we're bringing in these random guys like the guy today that I don't know, because like when it comes to Brian Flores, if he went out, because I'm sure they treat him as a head coach when it comes to the defense. Like, listen, you're the defensive coordinator, but listen, you've been a head coach. Like, we're not going to babysit you and hold your hand. Like, what guy you think we should go after? And he probably sitting there hand picking like, hey, I've worked with him, or hey, I've had my eye on this guy here. Bring him in. Let's see what he can do. And obviously they're going for guys that are older and veterans that have some seasoning on them. So I think we'll be okay. Like you said, man, I think we're going to be fine in the cornerback room. Obviously I do want a Gilmore or something too. I think that would just make me feel a little more at ease.
Makes us all feel better.
Make us feel a little better. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, man. Jay Ward moving the corner. Yeah. So let me ask you this. How do you feel? Because I was thinking because people were talking about maybe Cam Bynum moving there. Yeah. But I was thinking to myself, like, well, Cam Bynum worked so hard to try to perfect the safety position, because he did come from playing corner at Cal. And he's actually really good now. Like, he's come a long way. So I think that would be a disservice to try to all right, now that you did all that, put in all that work to be a good safety, now we're going to move you back to cornerback. So I think that might be the reason that they moved Jay Ward and said, hey, because he played two ways as well in college. So hey, we're keeping Bynum at safety, man. Jay Ward, you come on in. Because Theo Jackson too. Jackson's playing really good.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, really, really high on Jay Ward. There's a lot of positivity about him. And Flores, he thrives with players that they're not great at elite. I mean, I think anybody would take an elite player, but they're great at one position, but they can't do anything else. Flores loves versatility. So you may not be really, really good at this, but you could do a lot of things well. And if you get a lot of those pieces, you play like chess with teams. And that's why Flores really never he had Christian Wilkins and stuff like that when, with him and Xavier Howard, when he had his all-pro season. But he really thrives with kind of bringing the best out of not your splashiest, your name players that have a lot of ticket items that sell tickets. He makes the best out of kind of that average player and just excels. And I think that's a huge asset to our team is Brian Flores. With any other defensive coordinator with this type of, talent per se, is probably not going to put up the numbers that they did. And I think last year is a great example. Year two of Flores, a lot of year two of a lot of players that are in Flores' scheme. We do have a lot of new faces on the starting defense, but versatility. And I think Dallas Turner is an excellent example of that. He's not the guy that's probably going to rip off 20 sacks for you, but he's going to be, he can drop back, he can cover, he can go inside, into the 3 technique, which is unique. So I think it's just that type of versatility. And I wouldn't be shocked if the team put up 45, 50 some sacks, as a team. So, and more pressure. I think that's key too. So hammer that over. That might be a TPP hot take right there, but
I'm telling you, I'm about to clip it.
Yeah, clip it. But I do think the defense is going to be better, and it might not be one dominant player, but I think collectively as a unit, look out. And I think the defense is going to come out guns blazing week 1. Even with JJ McCarthy's a starter or Sam Darnold week 1, I could see some slowness to the game. Just, you get put into live action, you're playing the same defense. It's a different story when you play a different team. Joint practices will obviously tell us a lot preseason games, but I think the defense is going to be ahead of the offense for at least the first quarter of the season, and then it'll probably level out. And I think if people stay healthy, the defense is going to dominate all season.
Yeah. And that's usually, I was reading an article today about how, and this is pretty much a cardinal rule across the league, the NFL,
Sure.
when it comes to like the defense is usually always ahead of the offense.
Yeah.
Defenses are always gonna, and you ask yourself, sometimes people see like how, JJ McCarthy's doing, like he's doing really good, and you have one side of the fence that's like, oh damn, he's balling, or you have other people like, well, I think I'm concerned about the defense, like our depth on the defense. Like if he's doing that, then why is this happening? Why is he throwing so many touchdowns? Like what's up with our defense? And you can make the argument for either one. I mean, me and you obviously feel just like JJ's he's just good. I think the defense is good. JJ's just better. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the facts, man. That's what we rolling with. But again, like you said, I agree. I think that our defense is definitely going to be better than last year. And even us not having Hunter anymore, I know that was a big hit. A lot of fans were like, damn, we lost Hunter. I love Grenard. I think he's going to be amazing. And Dallas Turner, man. I think Dallas Turner.
The depth is a lot better. The depth is there. It was Hunter. That was it. I mean, some other players in there that were somewhat decent, and things like that. But I think with Grenard, Van Ginkel, Turner, I think Patrick Jones is maybe a little better than people think.
And me too. I agree.
I don't want him in there full time at all. But like if you need him for a snap or two, I think he's okay. So I think the depth was there, and it was Daniil Hunter, and then everybody else, it was nothing. So I think that's a huge. They're not as good maybe as Daniil Hunter per se, but. I think I'd rather have depth.
Now, have you heard anything about our guy from Army? What's his name? Damn, I'm drawing a blank.
Andre Carter.
Andre Carter. Yeah, because I seen a video. I think, and I'm sure I seen it on y'all's channel because somebody posted a little clip of him like doing a little.
Nick's real big on him. I'm hesitant, but he's got potential. Gabriel Murphy, I think, is a huge.
Murphy, he made a big play. I seen you guys. They said
the undrafted free agent. I think he's probably going to make the roster if he continues, or even if he's average or whatever, I guess, if you want to say he's not a full-time starter, maybe he gets like 15 snaps a game or something like that. I think that's feasible. But I think he's going to make the roster. So that's another potential sleeper pick, maybe Ivan Pace Jr. type status where you get, Kwesi seems to be real good with that undrafted free agency. He's willing to spend that capital and not spend a draft pick on it. And there's some other concerns there too, but that's a whole nother story. But I think for sure him and Andre Carter, I think that he's got some versatility to him too. Obviously he made the roster last year as an undrafted free agent too. So we'll see.
Yeah. So like as the draft, like after the draft, and let's exclude, number 9. Yeah. What pick were you most excited? Was it just, and it might be easy to just say Dallas Turner, but was there somebody else that we picked up? And I know obviously we had the tragedy with Kyrie, and if that was the guy you were looking forward to, you can speak on that as well. But like, what was the player that really intrigued you other than JJ McCarthy after the draft was all said and done?
Yeah. it's funny because we all were so, at least for me, and the quarterback sells. That's what everybody will know. What's Kirk doing? Where is he going to go? Who's the next quarterback? So that's where 75% or more of our brain power was going with TPP is getting that going and giving the fans what they want to see and the behind the scenes of how all that works. So obviously quarterback, we spent a lot of time on. Dallas Turner, I was aware of. He definitely was one of the one or two of the top projected, outside linebackers, defensive ends. And for them to get him, I think that was great. For me, I'm really excited about Levi Rodriguez, a little lower on the draft board for him. But I don't think he's going to be really good this year. I think he's going to need a year or two to kind of get his feet under him, understand the NFL and things like that. But as a sleeper defensive tackle, I really liked that pick. So it's not splashy, it's not crazy. But maybe not right away, but at maybe the halfway midpoint of the season, I expect to see him get a lot of snaps, and I think he could be a game changer. And Ja'Kalen Roy, big high on him.
Somebody was mentioning him in the chat, like seeing how was he doing and stuff like that.
He's doing really good. He got some snaps with the ones today I saw. So possibly you're one of those sleeper picks that nobody's really talking about that continues to down. He can stuff the run, and I think he's got a little pass rushing ability as a defensive tackle. He's not going to be your Kenny Clarks of the world or anything like that, but look out for him. And
that's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been looking for too for a while. Like when it comes to the DT, man, I always wanted somebody that can not only stuff the run and absorb double teams, but also can, if need be, get to the quarterback and apply pressure, man. I always feel like speed kills. And I noticed that when it comes to that position, you are getting, because I know people were concerned about size. And as the years are trending, it's starting to trend more where you're getting a little bit smaller at that position. Where and it's a rotational thing, but like when it's time to pass rush, you want to get that speed because speed obviously is going to kill in the NFL, especially because the offensive linemen, man, they're athletic, not to take nothing away from them, but speed will kill them every time. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's do this. Season projections as far as the Minnesota Vikings. Let's just say that we feel like me and you obviously feel like JJ McCarthy should start, but will support Sam Darnold. Let's just say JJ McCarthy doesn't start until week 4. All right. And so if that is the case, just based off of what we've been seeing now and everything that's been going on, where do you think the Vikings finish at the end of the season?
It's a great question. I get that asked somewhat frequently when I pop on shows. So regardless of who's quarterback, I think JJ and Darnold, they're going to have their pros and their cons to start off. Even with McCarthy, I love him. I think he's going to dominate for years to come. But there is a learning curve, and there's going to be growing pains, and fans have to understand that. It's hard at times. It's hard for me too, in the grand scheme of things. But if I had to put a projection, to me, it's the beginning of the season. That first 5 games and even the first 2 games after the bye is a gauntlet. Outside of the Giants, they have to win that one. If they lose that, the season's, I don't know. But if I had to put a number on it, I think they could get to 10 wins. And I think that could be enough to be very competitive in the playoff field. And maybe even the North. I think people are like, the Lions are going to win 13 games. Packers are the Super Bowl projected for a lot of, don't get me started on that. That's a whole other subject, but I think the NFC North is going to be a grind. And I think the Bears are going to be better than people think. And I wouldn't be shocked if 10 wins or 11 wins the NFC North. And I think the Vikings can get there. I absolutely will 100%. And you can check my receipts on sports betting. Hammer that 6.5. Put everything you got on it. That is a complete joke. If you want to win free money, if you can bet in whatever you guys are at in the states listening in, hammer that I think it's like minus 125 or minus 135 over 6.5 wins. Hammer that. That is absolutely happening. I think they win at least 8 games or more. But I wouldn't be shocked if they won 10, 11 games.
Man, we got a bunch of hot takes, man. We're going to be clipping. We turning into TPP tonight, y'all, on Vocal Vike. We're going to have all type of videos of Justin ranting about we winning 10 games. You know what I mean? We taking the North.
So I wouldn't be shocked if they won 10 games. I think 8 to 10. I think but if they can win like 3 of those games to start off the first 5, I think the whole rest of the season is complete. I think that would be absolutely shocking. I'd be so ecstatic. I think if they 1-4 going into the bye, we're talking about an uphill climb again, like we did last season. Right. But if they can get to 3 and steal, their home games too, the Texans, the Niners, we got Jets in London, they're tough games, and the Packers on the road, they're week 4. Got to win the Giants, steal 2 more going into the bye, and then Hawkinson's back, and JJ McCarthy hopefully is playing at that point, if not week 1, and who knows what our ceiling is. Let's go.
Exactly. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go. Hey,
shout out Alyssa.
Shout out Alyssa in the building, man. Like super Alyssa's just the truth, man. Seriously. Like on Twitter. She actually is the reason I won this JJ McCarthy shirt.
That looks pretty familiar. Sure. Alyssa, where's mine? I need one too.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, man, shout out to her, man. The work she puts in is amazing, man. Yeah. Like, seriously, man. Like, she's just hard working for the community as far as the Vikings fans and everything, man, doing giveaways. So shout out to her, man. I really need to get the honor to have her on, soon, man, to talk some Vikings football, man. She needs her own podcast. It would go crazy. You hear me? Like, for sure, her podcast would go crazy, but man, just love her, man.
Level-headed Viking fan, bringing everybody together, which we appreciate.
For sure, we need that too. She can even keep me in check sometimes. Sometimes I go off the edge and start talking smack and stuff, and it's like, just be positive, Rap. You know what I mean? All right, I got you. I'm chilling.
we all need a check now and then.
I need it every once in a while.
She does it in a good civil, like, she does professional way, which I appreciate.
She does, absolutely.
We chat offline a lot too, so she's cool.
Yeah, super cool, man. Super cool. Love her to death, man, for sure. I can't wait to meet her. Hopefully I get to meet her when I go up there. Are you going to any games, Justin, this year?
Away games. Obviously I live in Illinois, so I'm
Okay.
Chicagoland, so I hate Bears fans a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
People like
how
me,
is it? So let me ask you, how is it going to a Bears Vikings game? Like,
it's
in
rough.
That,
It's bad. It's bad. It's very
Yeah.
bad. People complain like Packers suck, and I hate the Packers with a lot, growing up. But living here in Chicago for the last like almost 10 years, they're freaking brutal, and they think they're like, top, whatever. They think they're the best of the best, and their team's the best. They're going to win it all every year, and they suck most of the time. But I think they're going to be pretty decent this year. If Caleb Williams even somewhat functional, I think they got a pretty good defense, and their offense has got some talent now. Finally, I'm a little worried about them, but they talk a lot of trash though, which it sucks. And I guess I've never been to actually Lambeau Field, believe it or not. I've heard Packer fans are actually not that bad when you're actually in Lambeau Field. Yeah, maybe on keyboard warrior behind Twitter and stuff is a different story, but yeah, it's not fun, I'll tell you that. But I always go to the Bears games, and I tried my best to make it to at least one Vikings football home game every year.
For sure, man.
Nothing on the docket yet, but at last minute though, hopefully.
Well, like I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you can make it to the city on week 2 against the 49ers, we are doing a Skull Fest event, as you know. Go. So like if you can make it, man, pull up and have fun, man. A lot of people in the chat are always there, man. It's just a great time, like great vibes, bunch of Vikings fans. It's crazy, man. It's a great thing. We did it last year and we had a good time, man. So yeah, that's it definitely extended that offer to you, man, because I appreciate you. And again tonight, shout out to you for coming on here. Well, I just want to talk about 2 more things real quick. Yeah, you're good. And but I just, again, man, this is a great show that me and you got, man. I love y'all's outlet, bro. Like it's number one. And as you know, I use and everybody knows too. Y'all tend to see his tweets on a lot of my thumbnails. You know what I mean? And that's intentional. Right. That's intentional because, again, I just have much respect for what they do over there. So, and I see a lot more people, especially a lot more content creators are starting to, just retweet y'all's stuff too, and it's a good thing, man, for sure, man. So keep up the good work, you and your partner, man. That's fire, man. But like, I want to ask you about Kevin O'Connell, right? Because, last year as Vikings fans, and you've seen it obviously where people were down, up on him, and we should fire him. We should get rid of him. Oh, no, never mind. He's the guy. I've always been a KOC guy, and I've always been a Kwesi guy. I mean, first, let me just ask you about that first. Like, are you a KOC guy and a Kwesi guy, or just one of the other, or like, how are you feeling about our GM and our head coach?
I am 100% full force KOC fan. I think he's proved himself. He's done, I think those first early on seasons, and nobody's perfect. They're going to make a boneheaded decision at some point. We can't hold him to that. It could be a massive play that changed the game. You can't hold him to that standard. You got to look at the big picture. I think KOC's flipped the narrative. We want to throw out those buzzwords like collaborative. He really has done that from the Mike Zimmer era. And I was a fan of Mike Zimmer to a point where, a change was needed. And I think he's rallied this team. They feel confident. They feel empowered. And I'm happy with where he is. And I do believe he's going to get the best out of JJ McCarthy. And I think they kind of know that their butts are on the line, with this. If JJ McCarthy doesn't work out, there's going to be a lot of fans. There's going to be media calling for their head. So I think they took their time. They did their due diligence of everything. And I think KOC wouldn't have selected JJ McCarthy if he didn't truly think he was going to get the best out of him. So I think that pairing is going to be sweet to come. It may not happen this year, but I think the future is awesome with KOC. Flipping over to Kwesi, obviously he's had a pretty rough 2022 draft. His 2023 draft outside of Addison is looking, I don't know. But I think he's made moves when they needed to be made. And one of those that might affect, be offending to a lot of fans and people out there, but it was time to cut bait with Kirk Cousins. I was a Kirk Cousins fan. I appreciated him and what he's done for this city and his time, but 6 seasons, you got to do something. And you can't just keep giving these 1-year deals over and over again. He got us out of cap hell. He got us financially flexible. And one of those was cutting bait with a good quarterback. Kirk Cousins is very good. But it was time for a change. And he stuck to his guns, and he's done that with players too. And it sounds like last year with Justin Jefferson, he did the same thing. He's like, this is my threshold. You take it now. Otherwise, I'm willing to go another year. That may not have been wise by him, but I do appreciate Kwesi's take it or leave it kind of mentality to some extent. He could probably do a little bit better job in the media. He gets a little gun shy with things, or he says things he probably shouldn't be saying. Right. That's why I think KOC is really good with talking to the media and everything. But in the grand scheme of things, I think they're a good pairing. I'm excited for the future. I support both of them. But, you know, I think if you had to pick, KOC is here. Kwesi's, you know, if his draft start to hit, he could be an elite GM. But until you're kind of judged as a GM on your draft pick, and I think he's got some learning and skill that. But I'm really excited about this 2024 draft class. I think that's going to elevate him, and I'm excited for the future with them. And they're both getting extended, in my opinion.
Great take, man. I feel the same way, man. I love both guys. I think so, because even going back to when it was between KOC and Harbaugh, I felt like we made the right decision. All right. And I still feel like that.
I was on the hard ball. I was sucked into the hard ball.
Hey, look, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan fan, but I still felt like we made, and you want to know why? Is simply this. I felt like Harbaugh, he's definitely proven, right? That's for sure. He is proven, and he's proven that his style does win. And we've seen that last year too, which, you know, as I look at it, hindsight 2020 now, I'm like, okay, maybe. But again, I was so big on let's get more innovative, right? And I just felt like KOC gave us more of that, hey, willing to, you know, take chances and really make this offense more innovative instead of just being so big. Because coming from Mike Zimmer and Kubiak and all them, it just seemed like our offense was just so dead and just so like repetitive and just 3 and out, a good throw here, good catch. It's just like, yo, like, let's get some motions rolling and stuff. And, you know, KOC kind of shied away from that, in my opinion, last year from year one. I feel like year one, like there was motions all the time. There was a lot of movement and stuff going on that looked really good, to where last year I didn't see it as much. Now that could have been me. Maybe it did happen just as much, and I just wasn't, you know, this is just me going off of what I'm trying to remember. And because last year was such an up and down season and so emotional going back and forth, especially with Kurt getting hurt, just knowing like, damn, our season's over. Like, it's literally over for the most part. Like, we can try to fight, but the chances are damn near slim to none at this point, especially with the Josh Dobbs pickup. Like, I don't even want to talk about that shit. But, you know, yeah, man, I love KOC. And I said this is like, I think last year was perfect. Like the way it happened, right? I think it's good that it happened like that. And I say that to say this. Year one, we won 13 games with him because we had veterans that could actually carry him while he's trying to implicate his offense and his style. He had veterans. Last year, he actually went through adversity. And to me, adversity is a good thing. Like, he went through a situation where his star quarterback went down. He had to figure things out. And if you think about that, we still were pretty competitive as a football team, winning. What do we won 7 games last year? I think we won 7 games, was it?
7-8 wins, something like that.
Yeah. So, you know, because think about, like, look at Bill Belichick. Once he lost Tom Brady, it was over with. You know what I mean? So most coaches, they lose their star quarterback like that, man. I mean, season's over. We still actually fought. He still did everything in his power to try to put this team in position to win. And I actually think he did a good job. So like this year right here is going to be big, like you said, with the JJ McCarthy, and they have to get this right. But I want to ask you this though, too, because I've thrown this out there, was what if they go with Sam Darnold and Sam Darnold's a disaster? Would that still put them on the hot seat?
No, absolutely not. I think they're tied to McCarthy hands down. So I think if they start Darnold, which was everybody expected going into the season, still is possibly favored and everything. Darnold's on a 1 year, $10 million deal, which is nothing. People think 10 mil is a lot. That's nothing for a quarterback nowadays. So even if they start McCarthy week 1 and they want to, you know, put McCarthy or Darnold on the bench, yeah, that's a little pricey for a backup, but their combined quarterback, you know, payout's not that great. So great scheme, that's like hindsight 2020 with it. But yeah, if Darnold goes out and flops, I could see them probably just grinding until they get to the bye week, and then they turn over to McCarthy. But, you know, you got a tough game with the Lions coming out of the bye, and then you got the Rams on a short week. That could be another optimal time that's been talked about if McCarthy doesn't win the week 1 job. But you know, it's easy to say now for KOC and Kwesi, like, oh, it's a process. You know, we're taking our time. Everybody's 0-0 right now. Nobody has a win. Nobody has a loss. But wait till those losses start stacking. You know, people got to answer to that. The media puts pressure on them. National media puts pressure on them. Fans are booing in games, not paying for tickets and stuff like that. So it eventually has a transcending effect where if Darnold's not performing, if he is the starter, you know, it's only a matter of time before they have to turn to JJ McCarthy. And there's no way in the world that Nick Mullins is starting any game this season unless JJ McCarthy's hurt. Yeah, so he may not start week 1, but there's no way in hell he's starting as QB3.
And he better not. And he better not.
No, just think of it. Just think of the depth chart week 1. Oh, here we're going Sam Darnold week 1. Okay, everyone's like, that's okay. And then it's like, oh, Nick Mullins is up next. It's like, that's not going to fly. You don't draft a top 10 quarterback if that's the case.
And going into camp, when everybody was talking about, oh, JJ McCarthy starting out at QB3. Well, I mean, I'll get your opinion on that. My opinion on that was just, okay, even if it was true, I think KOC and them just understand, like, hey, bro, you got to come out here and earn it. You still have to earn it, right?
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Even though we might look at you as the golden child and all the fans like you, man, we're not just going to bring you in. We're kind of just building our relationship. We're not just going to say you're QB2 or 1 right off the rip. Like, no, bro, you're starting at the bottom and let's see what you can do. I mean, I think it was only right to do that. So, but people were like panicking, like, I told you he's coming in at QB3. It's like, man, come on, man. I'm saying, like,
I know. Shout out Sodak kid right there with this.
Man.
On JJ McCarthy. I did the same thing already. He's at plus 400 right now, which probably is not going to dip any lower than that. They have Sam Darnold starting week 1 minus 600. I think that's favorite. I get it for sure, 100%. But minus 600. That's for those that don't know, that's you put $600 on that, you only win 100 profit. So I've hammered the plus 400. Get in now before those videos start to creep and the heaters start to build. That's gonna 100% flip here in about 2 weeks. So if you're in on, you got a little spare change laying around, definitely hammer that plus 400.
Man, we got to start a betting segment on Vocal Vike, man, and start getting TPP in here, man. Like, hey, man, what's up?
I'm in the play. It's legal here in Illinois. I'm sorry for you Minnesota guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's legal where I'm at. I'm in South Carolina, so I'm down south. So hey, look here, we can bet. You feel me? I don't know what they got going on.
Should be legalized all around. I don't get it.
It should be. That's
different subject, different conversation.
Absolutely.
Hammer that plus 400.
Yeah. And now let me ask you, like, because speaking of like the chaos, right? Like, let's just say chaos happens, right? And it does. It happens throughout the season. Do you ever sit there, you and your partner rub your hand like, should we send this tweet out and be part of this madness? This might start some stuff here, man. Should we? Because you guys get plenty of eyes. Like, I mean, honestly,
we get it all. We get everything.
Exactly. So, you guys definitely have an impact on what you put out too, even because you guys do put out some of your original stuff too. I mean, you know what I mean? So, which I respect that. I love that. So it's like, do you guys ever sit there like, hey, should we put this out and become part of the madness happening, or should we hold back a little bit on this one?
we give the news. So whether that's, maybe we're slightly biased to JJ McCarthy, we'll still put the Sam Darnold throws a bomb. We're absolutely posting that. So for example, but chaos is good. It's bad too, but we put the news, let people interpret it. So we say, this is from this, we found this, we get intel sometimes from some people every once in a while, like let people deal with it what they want to deal with. So we put it all out there, let the debates happen. I'm not like the people on there going to cancel somebody for whatever reason because they have a different opinion. If somebody tells me they support Sam Darnold, hey, I'm interested in that. Like, tell me why you think he should and what's your rationale, and then we get into a discussion about it or something like that. So we're pro all opinions. Get it out there. Let's talk about it. I think with this age of social media, it's hard to have those kind of conversations just because everybody
wants to hit the block button. Everybody wants to block you. It's like, oh, you like him? Okay, block.
Exactly. Like, they want to see what they want to be fed, but we try to put as much out there for everybody. It's, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We miss things sometimes, but it's hard to keep up with a lot of things, and even certain beat writers, and there's different rules. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people debate me on that. I promise you that they have strict criteria of what they can and can't write about and what they can say. But at the same time, everybody has an opinion, have an agenda to some degree, but we try to put it out there, let people debate, have a conversation. But chaos, it can be fun sometimes too.
Yeah.
In the Vikings realm, there's the whole thing outside of Vikings Twitter that gets crazy. Won't go down that wheelhouse, but
I don't think anything's gonna be more frustrating than Kirk Cousins was on this. You know what I mean? Like Kirk Cousins he just set this fan base into flames, bro. Like,
I know it's Sam Darnold, McCarthy's kind of turning that. And it's like
it is kind of turning it.
This isn't even a conversation between
JJ
and Darnold compared to Kirk and
it's like, bro, it's Sam Darnold, bro. Like, listen, bro, like that it just irritates me, man. And it's like, I always say that I'm a Vikings fan before anything. So, I'm not going to sit here and obviously, yes, I'm riding with JJ because that's my guy. But man, it's just, man, like, come on, man, it's Sam Darnold, man. Like I I can't sit there and hype this up. Not against JJ McCarthy. Just can't do it. I just can't do it, man. But hey, man,
chaos is fun. Enjoy
it. Is
discuss. I mean, the off season, it's all chaos because there's no concrete football stuff. Training camp's back. We actually got real football here. I think not this weekend, but next weekend, the Vikings' first preseason game. So get your tickets. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. One more thing.
Yeah.
Pace Gang, right? Because I started Pace Gang.
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
I was so high on Ivan Pace where I did a video like a month before the draft, and I was like, listen, we need to draft this guy. I actually thought he would be like a 3rd round draft grade. Like that's what I was looking at. Like from watching his film and stuff like that in the offseason and trying to just evaluate him. I'm like, yo, like this dude is serious. Like I thought he was gonna get drafted like late 2nd, 3rd round, to be honest with you, like from what I was watching. And he winded up going undrafted. We get him. And then all of a sudden this year they got the news that I seen you post as well about him getting the green dot and everything like that. Like, what are your expectations out of Ivan Pace Jr., man? Because I just seen an interview too with him yesterday. I think that was, man, just a confident dude, bro. Like just had that ego, and you got to have that coming from Harrison Smith that I seen you post today, saying like, hey, look, you have to have ego in this profession. You got to have a little bit of it, man. You just got to, like, it's a bunch of testosterone men out there hitting each other, man. You got to at least feel some kind of confidence in yourself, and Pace carries that. And sometimes that makes fans not like him. They think he's cocky. He's just too cocky and stuff. But as far as his play this year, like, what do you see him ranking at the end of the season as far as on linebackers go?
Yeah, I think there was a PFF. He was like pretty high in PFF.
He was.
I think like projections going into the season. I can't remember. I read a lot of stuff, all day long. It seems like, so I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was they projected like a top 15 linebacker in the NFL, which is absolutely wild to me. He's in the 2nd year, undrafted free agent, 3-year contract, green dot. So if you get the green dot, you play all snaps on defense. You don't take breaks unless you get hurt. So that's a huge accolade. That's a huge accomplishment. People don't understand how important that is on a defense. It's like they're like the quarterback of the defense. Obviously, the quarterback is the shiny toy of the NFL. Without a quarterback, you are nothing. You can kind of get away with a semi-average linebacker with the green dot, but it's a huge accomplishment. I'm really proud of him. I could tell you I didn't even know much about him when he was drafted, undrafted free agent. I didn't dig. It's hard to like dig into the undrafted free agent because we had Jordan Addison, we had a lot of other picks you drive into, and then all of a sudden he's making the team, and then he's getting green dot snaps. Jordan Hicks went down. He goes in there and he absolutely thrives, and he thrived in chaos, and that's how you make your name in the NFL. He's smaller on the on the height and weight side of scheme for a linebacker, but his pass coverage skills is elite. He can pass rush the. Get to the quarterback if need. I think he had like yesterday, Will Ragatez or somebody posted that he like just blew up one of the running backs. I think it was Dwayne McBride, and like it popped. It actually made a sound like in TCO, which is like crazy. So we're gonna get more of that action tomorrow. The defense loves the pads because they get to hit. Yeah. So I'm really excited for him. I think he's got a huge potential. Even if he's average this year. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to be very good. He only has a 3-year deal compared to the typical 4-year deal for most draftees. And if you're first round, you get the 5th round option. Right. So he's coming into a kind of a contract season, not this year, but next year. So, and if he shows anything like remotely what he did this last year, he's going to get paid. So
going to get paid,
and it's going to be sooner than people think. But we got money. We got the
next year is going to be really aggressive. It's going to be a great offseason, I feel like, for the Vikings next year, where you can actually, if you want, like, it might not be the thing to do. Obviously, I want to win a Super Bowl, but like, we'll be in position next year to where like you can kind of do that kind of go all in type of thing, like how the Rams have done and how the Bucks have done. Like you could, right? Like it might not be the smartest thing, but you might have the freedom to do it next year as Vikings fans, man. It might get sticky next year. We might start seeing, oh, damn, the Vikings they signed who? 2 days later. Oh, who? A guy, we got an all-star team. Let's get
like
it.
About six. I think they got about 60 mil, I think, if they roughly, they have a lot of cap space in 2026. So and even 60 mil, you can do a lot. I really do think Kwesi's going to try to roll over as much as he can. I think we're at about 20-ish mil, 15 to 20 mil range. So, and that rolls over. So we could have up to 75 mil next year. So I think that's kind of playing a role in the kind of the going back to our beginning conversation about the cornerback situation and kind of getting that splashy name. But with 60 plus 75 mil, you can, and they'll have almost 100 mil in 2026. You could do whatever you want. So whatever hole we have, you could go sign a guy. Yes, you overpay in free agency. That's what it is. But at least you get a sure thing. Draftees, they're all hit or miss. But
right.
expect a thriving 2, 3, 4 years. And even if McCarthy's really, really good, they could pay him and even front load it a little bit or back load it. So Vikings could have a huge window for about 5 years, 5 to 6 years is now, to do a lot of damage. And even if McCarthy's good, there's ways around certain things too. So like
what we've been asking for the longest, man. I know you were.
We're here to come. We are here to come.
Cousins, boy. Thank you, man. Like
it's hard to do it with that money. It's hard. It is. It plays a role.
It is, man. Well, again, man, this was a great time, Justin, man. I appreciate you, man, again, for coming on. I know you appreciate me having you on, but I feel just as honored, man. You just joining me and talking, man.
Oh, it's an honor to be with you, man.
You know what I
mean? I'm saying we're big or anything. You
guys are big, man. Call it for what it is. Call it for what it is.
You guys can debate that, but when we were nothing and nobody knew us, Rap, I always appreciated your support. So I always respect. I'm happy to join anytime you want, and appreciate all the fans listening. There's a lot of people listening right now, which is crazy to me. So man. Appreciate everybody. It's not easy. We make mistakes. We appreciate your support, and thank you to all that DM us ever occasionally with support and positive messaging or even commenting or whatever. We try to deliver. We give you honest stuff. We give you right to the source. It's hard to put everything into one character, tweet, whatever. We always give you the source. You get the full background, but we're not the DAWs, the JPAs. You guys know the aggregators that just do it for clicks. We don't do it for clicks. We care, and we love just bringing you guys content. So we appreciate all the support, and thank you to everybody listening. And thanks for having me on the show, Rap.
Man, absolutely, man. Thank you again, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we can do this. I mean, I'm sure we will, man. We'll get it done again. Especially we'll tap back in a couple weeks into the season, man. Let's do it. And go back in on this, man. Again, man, appreciate you, man. And I'll talk to you soon for sure, man. Y'all make sure I go follow my guy, man. Go follow TPP on X. Let's do it. And then real quick too, Justin, YouTube. I know I tagged your YouTube. Are you guys planning on?
We got something in the works on YouTube. Okay. We're expanding on Instagram and Facebook right now. Okay. We just got a TikTok though too. But I would say if it's hard to play all the platforms right now, but Instagram and Facebook at TPP Skull, Purple Persuasion. If you just Google one of those two, or not Google, but type us in on Instagram, that's what we're going to come up with, and Facebook as well. So we're trying to expand our social media outreach. It's hard. Obviously, we're the biggest on X, but we're changing the game of Vikings Twitter and how you guys get your news. So be the front runner of following us.
Yeah, so go subscribe. With that being said, make sure I go subscribe. I have their YouTube tagged in the title, so all you got to do is click the name there, man. I wound up fixing it so before the show. So if you click their name there, man, make sure y'all go subscribe so you can be there when it starts to come, because it's going to be great. I mean, look what they're doing on other platforms. So once the YouTube starts popping, you got to be there. But man, again, man, appreciate you, man. You have a good night, man. I'll say bye to the fans real quick, man, and I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. Right, appreciate it.
Later. Man, shout out my guy, man, for sure, man. What a great time. That was actually a really good show, man, having a really good conversation, man. I really appreciate Justin and his guy over there, what they do, man. They go hard, man, for sure. I use them all the time. So shout out to them, man. I appreciate everybody. I know I wasn't like interacting with the chat, but when we got guests in the house, man, we got to have the conversations, and I don't want to keep stopping and really, shouting out everybody. But I see y'all in the building, man. Y'all were really interacting tonight, man, and I appreciate y'all for that, man. Purple Gang always holding it down for us, man, making guests feel welcome, and for that I thank you guys for sure, man. Listen, we just getting started, man. It's about to get crazy out here, you hear me? Like, we definitely, football is back. I keep saying that, man, and it is, man. It's official, man. I can't wait, man. We get to watch our Vikings play in, what is it, like 10 days or something like that? Don't we got a game next Sunday? I think we got a game next Sunday for sure. So, we about to see what's happening. You know what I mean, man? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's going to be a great time, man. So, thank y'all again, man. Make sure I hit that like button before you go. If you didn't hit the like button because it'll help push this video, man, so people can hear this conversation. And make sure you subscribe if you ain't subscribed already, man. Love y'all to death, man. I'll see y'all Friday night for sure, but stay tapped into the videos dropping this week. Later.